At a second press conference this afternoon, this time at the Coast Guard headquarters off the Western Highway, law enforcement authorities briefed reporters on the incident that occurred on Saturday, during which 3 men were shot and killed during a crossfire. It followed questions raised by the family of 18-year-old Kendall Flowers, who was, up to Monday, the only casualty who had been identified, and whose relatives openly said that they believed that he was assassinated rather than killed in the crossfire. The joint police, BDF and Coast Guard team reportedly advanced on the scene in the Rocky Point, Bacalar Chico areas on Ambergris Key after they sighted a suspicious-looking individual. Captain John Borland of the Belize Coast Guard Service gave the media a second rundown of Saturday's events, this time assisted by a map and pictures.
Approximately 50 meters from where that individual was located is where they came under fire. At that time, the patrol identified 4 individuals in the vegetation. Patrol commander then gave the order to return fire, and using standard operational procedures started advancing towards what we call the enemy position. The patrol advanced using fire and maneuver tactics.
At the end of the crossfire, 3 of the 4 suspects were killed. Today, 2 of those individuals were identified. Police intelligence led them to these pictures they say were taken about a month ago, showing 2 of the deceased, 18-year-old Kendall Flowers and 22-year-old Alexander Masariegos, a resident of Costa Rica Street in Salvapan, Belmopan. No information was given at the conference of the 3rd person who was killed, but the police press office released his name as Ali Ismael Garcia, a 23-year-old laborer of St. Paul Street, Belmopan. The 4th suspect, whose particulars were not given, reportedly escaped. Authorities proceeded to dispute any allegation that the men were executed. These pictures provided by the Coast Guard Service show items they say were recovered from the scene and one of the suspects who was killed, dressed in camouflage gear. Commissioner Henderson says that they have proof that the deceased persons were involved in illicit activity.
These pictures was obtained about a month ago, and if you make keen observation on the firearms, you will see the 9mm is identically similar to the one that had obtained during that incident on Saturday. If you look at the M4 carbine, it is identically the same. These pictures were obtained 1 month prior to this incident. So in no way, shape or form, the security forces had to really plant or put or cause any injury to anybody. If you look at the 3 individuals there, you see Kendall Flowers. This was obtained a month ago, prior to this incident, and the firearm is similar. If you look at the other rifle, it is similar. In fact, that individual, where we know who he is, we know how to get him, and he will be picked up.
Is that the 4th person who you believe escaped?
I cannot say, but I know we have obtained these photographs prior to the incident.
That weapon in its hand is an M4 carbine?
It is an M4 carbine.
And the one I see in the background?
It's an M4 carbine.
Okay, and you believe those are the same M4 carbines which were found at the scene?
At the scene of that incident.
In answering comments that the family of Kendall Flowers made about his killing, this was what Captain Borland and Commissioner Henderson had to say.
There is evidence that these people were really involved in illicit activity, and those pictures don't tell a lie that we got a month ago. The other thing is that we want to make plain that the Ministry of National Security nor the government of Belize in any way, shape, or form endorses, encourages, or support state-sponsored killings or assassination. And if that is the feeling that some people are trying to instill, then that is negative.
There is no need to execute anybody.
The postmortem is pending, right?
There will be a postmortem, and if You all need to hear the result, then the result will be shared.
Reporting for Love News, I'm Marion Ali.